Hi guys, welcome back to Geeks Wargaming and welcome to our latest Horus Heresy battle report. Myself and Robin are back together again and it's Ultramarines versus Iron Hands. Really looking forward to this one. Robin, do you want to explain about the mission that we're doing? Because this is slightly different.
Yeah, those of you that have been following along the progress of my Iron Hands, before Christmas obviously I attended an event at Warhammer World and I was planning on giving you a little bit of a tournament review.
How did that go, Rob?
So I got ill.
Yeah.
Had the flu for a couple of weeks. Then it was Christmas, and then it was just too late to actually do it, so I didn't bother doing it.
Basically, you forgot.
So sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
He forgot to do a tournament review.
Yeah. So apologies for that one. So the plan today was to actually bring my list that I took to that event.
Which is how many points?
3,000 points.
What? How many points in the thumbnail? How many?
2,500 points.
So why are we 500 points different, Rob?
I forgot to bring some units with me.
You forgot your Land Raider, didn't you?
I forgot my Land Raider. So we thought rather than making it a really odd pointage, we'd drop it down to 2,500 points because it kind of makes more sense. So it's a similar list to what I took to that event, minus a squad of Terminators and a Land Raider. So just imagine they're there.
Yeah, obviously.
But the mission that we're going to do, so Warhammer World events are really good because what they do is they don't use the core missions, because we know the core missions aren't that great.
They're alright.
They're alright, but they're not that great. So what they've done is they've actually created their own, and they give you these nice little cards. So you get a full deck of these, which have got all of the missions. I think there's 6 missions in total that you get to play. Obviously, I think you choose 5. You get 5 in the actual event. But it gives you everything you need to know on these cards, so it's really good. So the one that we've chosen today is called Crucible of War. Basically, long and short of it is, it's 3 objectives. The person with strategic advantage places the first objective, can't be placed within a deployment zone, can't be placed within 6 inches of a board edge, and all objectives have to be 12 inches away. Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
But there's only 3 objectives, and they're all in no man's land.
And on this battlefield, no man's land is quite open.
Yes.
So this is going to lead to quite a
bloody affair. Quite a bloody affair.
And it's only 4 turns.
Yeah, it's 4 turns. So that's what they do in these events, because obviously time is a bit of an issue. So yeah, 4 turns, but you tend to find that that's probably all you need anyway in a lot of these sort of situations. How the points are scored on this one is if you hold an objective at the end of your player turn, 1 victory point.
Okay.
So the objectives in no man's land are going to be really important. Secondaries come into play, slay the warlord, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All of that's taken into account as well. So we're expecting quite a brutal affair in the mid-table.
So I've taken, I mean, you'll see in a minute, but I've got 5 line units. So
And I've got 3.
And you've got 3.
So
So
you've
I'm
probably got the advantage.
So I'm outweighing. However, Robin's got a lot of dreadnoughts. Obviously, Iron Hands, he likes his dreadnoughts. So there's a lot of dreadnoughts. But to counter that, I am taking Rebute Gulliman. Rebute Gulliman is coming out of the glass cabinet and he's seeing the battlefield again. So I'm really looking forward to this because I love this miniature. I think he's ace. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm interested to see how this one goes. The objectives being in the open is going to force us either to be very tactical and jump out at the last minute, but giving up victory points at the end of your player turn, or trying to hold on to the objectives for 4 turns to rack up those victory points, but being exposed and in the open. So it's going to be really, really difficult.
And
one
somebody's
to call.
got a friend maker.
Do you mean the Scorpius Whirlwind? Yes, I do. Only one of them.
Yeah.
Might have to get some more. They are ace. And it's the old Forge World resin one as well. So, you know, happy days. Anyway, don't forget to go visit that link up in the top corner of the video where you can go across to our sponsor, Element Games, and buy all of your hobby needs and at exactly the same time be helping support the channel. So please go take a look at that link. If you haven't subscribed and you do find yourself going, oh look, I'm back at Geeks Wargaming, click that little subscribe button and don't forget to click that bell icon so you don't miss any of our content. But shall we go and take a look at the armies? This is the 2,500 points of Ultramarines for today. They are being led by Rebute Gulliman. With the Sire of the Ultramarines, I've decided to take an extra reaction in the shooting phase. In HQ, we have got a Praetor. He comes equipped with a Chain Fist in Cataphractii Terminator armour. I also have a Chaplain in Artificer armour and a Plasma Pistol. Into troops, we have 3 tactical squads, all basically kitted out exactly the same. 2 of the squads have Nuncio Voxes and the sergeants all have Artificer armour and a Power Sword, and 2 of the squads will be riding around in Rhinos. Into heavy support, we have a Spartan with a Flare Shield and we have the Scorpius Whirlwind. Fast attack, I'm taking the Sky Hunter Squadron on the Scimitar jet bikes. Obviously, the new plastic kits of these have just come out, so I'm interested to see what these guys actually perform like in this new edition, because they've always been a bit pants for me in the past. Then we head over to Elite, which is where the bulk of my points has gone. We have the Praetorian Squad. So all of these guys with their breach shield and their power swords. Obviously, they're my red helms looking for redemption. We have 5 Cataphractii Terminators, all equipped with Chain Fists. We have an Apothecary, and then we have the Invictaris Suzerains. So that will be the Ultramarines for today's game.
Here is my 2,500 points of Iron Hands. I am running the Company of Bitter Iron Rite of War, which makes my Medusan Immortals line, and they also get Heart of the Legion, so they should be quite tanky. The force is led by a Praetor who has been upgraded to a Battlesmith, so he is again very, very tanky. Also with the Rite of War, I can give him the Bitter Duty, so he can actually join the Medusan Immortals as well. Next to him, we've got the Moritat, or Richard's favourite character in my entire list. And he's got the 2 Grav pistols. He's also got a chainsword, which is kind of represented by that little doodad on his back. Troops, so we have 2 tactical squads. Only difference is the sergeant. So 1 sergeant has a chainsword, 1 has a power fist. And then, as I said, the Medusan Immortals are also a troop choice in this list. There's 2 Grav Shredders in there, and the Sergeant has Artificer Armour and a Power Fist. They are going to be riding around in the Spartan. That's a heavy support choice, not a dedicated transport for them. The 2 tactical squads are in Rhino, dedicated transport. The other heavy support I've got is the Predator, and it's got the Conversion Beamer on the turret and the 2 las cannons. Conversion Beamer, I quite like them. They're quite expensive, but you know, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Then rounding out the force, we've got all the Dreadnoughts. So I've got a Dreadnought Talon. They're all the same. They've got the Power Fist with a Grav gun in, and the multi-melter gun as well. A single model in a Talon, which is with the 2 las cannons basically. And then the Leviathan, I thought I'd try them shooty. Leviathans, they're okay, they're not as good as Contemptors, but I thought I'd try with the double storm cannon for all of the Dakar. So that rounds out the force. My Warlord has got the, I think it's called Iron Will, Silver Iron Will Warlord trait, which basically makes him sort of ignore any sort of minuses to his characteristics and stuff like that. So again, just helps him be a little bit more tanky. So that is it. That is the 2,500 points force.
Objective markers are down. The Ultramarines and the Iron Hands are deployed for this face-off. Down into the Iron Hands deployment zone, we have the Rhino down here. This one, Robin, has got...
that has got the tactical squad that've got the sergeant with a power fist.
Okay, then we have Leviathan Dreadnought, Contemptor Dreadnought, and we have a Predator. Oh, Predator. Then we head over to the Spartan. The Spartan has got the...
Medusan Immortals, the Praetor, and the Moritat.
Then we have 3 more Contemptor Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, in a Talon.
And a Talon. And then finally we have the last of the Rhinos. And in this one...
No, it's just a tactical squad, and the Sergeant's got the chainsaw.
Anything in reserve?
Nope.
Excellent, that's what I'd like to hear. Objective markers, we have 1 on the outside of this building, 1 slap bang in the middle of no man's land, and then finally we have 1 here. Over to the Ultramarines deployment, we have the Invictaris Suzerains right in the middle of this opening. 2 objective markers, which ways can it go? Also troop killers, so we've got troops down here. In the building down here, we have the first of the tactical squads. Should be able to hold that objective without having to come out of that building. Next to them, we have the friend maker, as Robin has called it, the Scorpius Whirlwind, hiding around the back because there is a Nuncio Vox in this squad. Should be able to get myself some nice views across the battlefield. The Praetorian squad and the Apothecary are in this building. Again, line so we can get through that building there to hold on to that objective. The Spartan tank in here, the Terminators, the Chaplain, the Praetor, and Rebute Gulliman all looking at coming up and smashing some Dreadnoughts in the face. 2 Rhinos, both with tactical squads in, looking at that objective down here. And then finally, we have the Scimitar Jeb Bikes, the Sky Hunter Squadron, looking at coming across the battlefield and disrupting and putting some shots down. But it is Robin to go first, unless I can seize the initiative.
Don't do it.
I do not. It is a 2. Iron Hands going first. The Rhino has moved up the battlefield. It's full range, heading towards that objective down there. The Leviathan and the Contemptor have also moved. Predator has stayed still. The Immortals, what are they?
Yeah, Immortals,
They're the ones.
my Praetor and the Moritat have all got out.
Oh,
and,
God, I hate that Moritat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're out there onto that objective. They've came out of the Spartan, which has moved forward. The Talon of
the
Contemptor
Talon
Dreadnoughts.
they've obviously split up because you're allowed to do that, and they're just sort of putting pressure down the side and down the middle.
We've got the Rhino.
Yeah, the squad has come out and is sitting on the objective, hiding as far away from that Scorpius as possible.
Yeah.
Nobody can draw line of sight to them, though.
No, you can't, because there's no
So,
Vindars, no nothing.
Yeah, so it'll be a nice full scatter if you do decide to target them.
So anyway, we're going to be heading over to shooting. Annoying / really good round of shooting from Robin there. So basically, the tactical squad that was inside of this building have basically failed a morale check because they got shot at by a Leviathan Dreadnought and have ran off, but they're still on the battlefield, which is good. My Praetorian squad, they got shot at by basically everything in Robin's army.
It was the 3 Dreadnoughts and these boys.
Yeah, shot down at the Praetorian squad. They failed a morale check, so they've ran back as well. My Spartan is immobilised because I showed its arse. And then the 2 Rhinos have got 2 hull points remaining. So, yeah, overall, a little bit of an annoying round. I shot back with the Praetorian squad as a reaction down into that squad there. No damage done. My second reaction that I could do during Robin's shooting phase, I didn't, basically, because he didn't target...
Forgot.
Well, no, it's not that I forgot. Everything you targeted really couldn't do any damage back of what shot at
there,
it.
there would have only been maybe some Shroud in, but, you know, it was...
Yeah. So anyway, that is the end of Robin's turn. So we're going to work out victory points then. So I'm guessing that'll be 2 for you.
Yeah, I got 2.
2 victory points.
I'm holding it here.
Yeah, and then there. So let's head over to the Ultramarines, turn 1. Tactical squad in the building, they rallied, they're now back up. The Invictaris Suzerains, they've moved there. Rebute Gulliman has passed on Furious Charge at the start of this turn, so they're looking at hopefully charging into those annoying people over there. The Praetorian squad have rallied, not really doing a fat lot over there. Rebute Gulliman and everybody's all out of the Spartan, but they're going to kind of waste a turn just faffing around there. Not moving because of...
Been stunned.
That Rhino's moved up its 14 inches and the Scimitar Jet Bikes have moved 16 inches. So we're going to head over to shooting and then we're going to do some charging. In complete and utter contrast, the Ultramarine shooting phase did not go according to plan, so we have taken 1 wound off Leviathan Dreadnought thanks to my Spartan. We've killed one of the tactical squad down here from the Scimitar jet bikes, but the Invictara Suzerains, in my own shooting phase, have lost 3 guys, and that was down to Robin reacting to these, because I stupidly shot them with the bolt pistols so they could react and shoot me back.
Yep.
So that was annoying.
Your Scorpius completely whiffed as
Oh
well.
yeah, Scorpius shot down at this and completely not missed him.
Even though I made a nice little compact circle for you, so you'd actually hit all but 2 of them.
It went
with
here.
the large blast.
Even with the Nuncio
Nuncio
box,
box still scattered big.
Amazing. The Invictara Suzerains made it into combat, but as you can see, there is a massive gaping hole. Robin issued a challenge and I accepted. Managed to hit the Praetor but did no damage, and then the Moritat managed to kill off the other one. So yes, completely not the whiff fest down there. I think taking 2 in to combat did not help at all because of Overwatch and everything else.
I took a wound off in Overwatch. The Praetor basically killed one in the challenge, and then on the initiative step, my Moritat, despite only having a chainsword, actually took the last wound.
Yeah, so a bit brutal at the moment. The Ultramarines are on the back foot. Roberto Gulliman and the Terminator's been all the way down there. Doesn't help. But this turn we have scored 0 victory points. The Rhino has moved off the battlefield, allowing those tactical troops out. So they're going to be onto that 3rd objective down there. The Leviathan Dreadnought and the Contemptor Dreadnought have moved up. I'll move your dice, Robin.
Thank you.
No problems. This squad moved up as well. So
just sort of spread out a little bit.
Yeah, spread out and moved up,
moved up a little bit forward, so I can get in range with everything I need to on the Spartan and that squad.
These 3 and the Rhino have all moved up as well. Spartan has moved back. Predator's stayed still. So lots and lots of Melter, lots and lots of...
there on that objective.
Yeah, and they're obviously staying still on the objective. So we head over to shooting. Another very eventful turn of shooting for Robin. The tactical squad down here shot down at the tactical squad inside the building. You might notice they've ran off again. Found a morale.
Horses.
I know they are. So the Leviathan shot down at the Scorpion down there. It's got 1 hull point remaining.
And it is
stunned or shaken, so it can't fire. The round here, the Rhino has gone. Tactical squad are out. I lost 1 guy from that tactical squad there. That was shots from this tactical squad here. And then inside of here, I have lost 4 of my Terminators. This is all Grav, Melter, and shot some down here. And my Spartan is on 1 hull point remaining. And obviously there's little templates all over the place from the Grav Flux. So that's always fun. But there's going to be no combat from Robin's point of view because he's decided not to charge. So
Well, I was.
well, you were, weren't you?
I was going to charge here, but you removed the Terminator was there, so
Obviously.
it would mean that I'd have to go through my own difficult terrain.
Exactly.
To charge
So
you,
why I did
which
it.
makes it quite a long charge then. So I thought it's probably unlikely.
So for this, and the end of this turn, you score 3 victory points as well.
Yeah,
Because you hold all 3 objective
I
markers.
certainly do.
In the Ultramarines movement turn, the tactical squad have moved up onto the building after rallying. The Praetorian squad are now up against the windows in here, looking at busting their way through and coming into combat. Everybody down here has moved. We've got the Praetor and the Terminator up against the edge. Rebute, Gulliman and the Chaplain.
A couple of wounds taken by that squad
Oh,
for the difficult terrain.
There was, you're right. I rolled 2 ones, one for the Praetor and one for the Terminator, so they've lost a wound. But Rebute, Gulliman and the Chaplain and the Terminator and the Praetor are looking at coming into combat down here.
And
This
Gulliman
squad is pinned.
Gulliman is separated from the squad.
Yes, he's separated out, and so is the Chaplain. Basically, then, so this squad are out, but they're pinned. That squad is out because that Rhino is now immobilised, so pointless. And the Scimitar jet bikes are now here, staring down that squad on that objective.
Naughty little outflank there.
There was a naughty little outflank. In the Ultramarine shooting phase, the Scimitar jet bike shot down at the tactical squad, killing 2 off. Down here, the Rhino has taken a hull point or 2. That is down to the las cannons from the Spartan, the second, and the heavy bolters. The other las cannon sponson shot down at this Contemptor Dreadnought down here, taking off 1 wound, or 2 wounds actually. So he's got 4. Somehow this Contemptor Dreadnought has the same amount of wounds as my Primarch. Now I'm calling BS on that, but apparently that's a thing. That's really annoying. Yeah, that is pretty much everything. Oh, the other tactical squads down there shot at
The Immortals.
The Immortals down there, literally nothing happened whatsoever. So we're going to be going into Assault. The Ultramarines Assault phase. The Praetorians and the Apothecary have gone. They got wiped out by the Immortals down here that are proving to be quite a pain in my arse. The Contentious Dreadnought down here has taken a wound thanks to the Praetor. The Terminator, however,
did kill the Terminator.
He got killed off in the Overwatch. Rebute Gunnerman took 2 wounds in Overwatch because you do your Gorgon Spike BS Overwatch.
Which means that I can double the amount of shots from my Overwatch, but they do get hot. So that was 4 melter shots in the face.
Yep, but you did take 2 wounds.
Yeah.
And also, you may notice that the Chaplain, who had been really useful for rerolls with Gunnerman, is stuck. So he's over there.
That was from the Overwatch.
Yep.
Putting that template down there.
You did. You put some Graph down as Overwatch, and that was annoying. And then finally, the Scimitar jet bikes down here went into combat with this squad and killed 2 of them, and then they failed their morale and they have ran away. So you lost combat by 1 because you did a wound on me.
Lost by 2, but they are stubborn because on an objective, blah blah blah. But they still failed morale.
Still failed, still ran away. Happy days.
I managed to run away. Yeah, it didn't drive me down.
Tactical squad that popped out the Rhino down here has now moved up and into the building. So they're looking at the Ultramarines down there. Leviathan Dreadnought has moved up. The Rhino has moved away from that squad. These guys have stayed still. Stayed still. Spartan stayed still. We had a bit of a tank shot ramming moment going on down here. And yeah, you did 2 wounds and I saved them on my Artificer armour. It's a lot better than it used to be, but still a bit meh. These guys down here have rallied and have moved back onto the objective. Another very successful round of shooting for Robin. The tactical squad up front that building have been killed off. That was from the Leviathan Dreadnought. The Scorpius Whirlwind has been destroyed. That was from the Spartan. The Spartan has been destroyed. That is now out of hull points. That was thanks to these guys here. That Rhino has been knocked out of hull points. That was from
something else.
That guy there. Yeah, that tactical squad's taken a little bit of pummeling from this guy down here. In the combat phase, the Dreadnought made it into combat with the tactical squad, killing off 4. So the 2 that were left did no wounds back, found morale, and then there was initiative off, and obviously Robin beat me and murdered them harshly and overkill. Talking of overkill, Rebute Gunnerman smashed a Dreadnought in the face and made it go kabooey, but obviously was absolutely fine. I've been using the Invictus Sandor against it, because obviously it's a toughness now, so made more sense to use that. That Dreadnought down there then killed the Praetor, which is a little bit annoying, but it's going to be over to the Ultramarines turn 3. This turn, Robin will score 3 victory points again. In the shooting phase, the Scimitar jet bikes down here shot down at the tactical squad, did a couple of wounds.
But I saved them.
But you saved them, and then into combat, basically managed to kill a couple off.
1.
Yeah, okay, 1. And then Robin killed 1 off, but that means I lost combat by 1 because I had 1 more wound. Failed miserably. He's now running back all the way over here. Rebute Gunnerman basically killed the Dreadnought down here. The Dreadnought went boom and killed off the Chaplain that was down there. It's all really annoying. These guys shot down into this squad down here, but no real damage done.
Nothing.
And that is going to be the end of my turn. So we're into turn 4. Robin has done all of his movements. Basically, he's pointing everything at Rebute Gunnerman. The jet bike down there was destroyed by 1 of the Spartan las cannon shots. Rebute Gunnerman is on 1 wound because the Moratat, still a twat, has just shot him and did a wound. So we're down to 1 wound with Rebute.
The rest of the wounds were off las cannons.
Basically, everything in Robin's army is just shot at Rebute Gunnerman. Yeah. He's got 1 wound. Now it's the humble bolters.
Let's see if we get him. I've still got the Leviathan to shoot as well.
This will do it though. The bolters will do it. Weight and numbers.
That's a rather cocked die.
That is a very cocked dice, that one. Dink.
Not that it matters.
Still a 1.
Miss. Okay.
Okay.
And then it's 5s that we
I'm toughness 6.
Yeah, 5 for me.
Oh, pulls out all the 6s.
Oh, he spiked high. 6. Statistically, you're dead. I know he's going to roll it like this. What a
Yeah. Leviathan time then. So we've got how many shots? 12?
12, yeah, 2 Stormfronts.
Flipping heck.
Oh, he's got a few misses there.
Oh, yeah, it's got a few misses. That's helpful. Still quite a lot. So this renders on 5 as well, doesn't it?
I believe so. 3 is the wound. Oh my god. And we're going to have to check that rending.
Yeah, we'll check the rending rule. Be right back.
6 hours later.
Right, we're back. Yes, it does render on a 5. So we've got the 2 normal saves to start with. They're all fine. That's a 4 and a 2. 2 rending. So this is a 4 up invuln save.
He's dead.
Rebute is dead. And with the death of Rebute Gulliman, that is the end of the game. We didn't play out the Ultramarines' final turn because with only 1 tactical squad left, we really didn't see the point. But it is a victory to the Iron Hands, so they score 11 victory points on the primaries. On the secondaries, we had First Blood. We have Slay the Warlord, which they get 2 for because of it being a Primarch. And we have Last Man Standing, where they score 2 victory points as well. So final score is 16 victory points to the Iron Hands and 0 to the Ultramarines. Let's head over to the post-game review. Hi guys, welcome to the post-game review. That was a really good game, I think.
Brutal.
So it was very brutal. So, like I said at the very start, I tried to tailor my list for anti-dreadnought because I knew you'd be bringing lots of dreadnoughts.
How'd that work out for you?
Not that well. So let's go through the reasons why it didn't work out very well. So the reasons, and I'll take this one, is my positioning of my Spartan at the very start of the game was slightly poor. I should have been a bit more aggressive with it. The reason I wasn't, and the reason why my Spartan wasn't up on the edge of my deployment, ready to move forward, is because of the Moritat. So I know for a fact that he's in your Spartan, he's going to pop out and he's going to immobilise / destroy my Spartan with 1 round of shooting. Because he is an annoying little individual that I want to smash into tiny little pieces. I absolutely detest him. So, because of that, I decided to move my Spartan back a bit. What I did was the angle I was at showed off too much of my side and my rear to some of the other guns.
How's that flare shield, that 50-point upgrade?
Yeah, the flare shield obviously didn't work because I was facing the wrong way. And inside of that, obviously having Rebute Gulliman and Terminators with chain fists,
Having to walk across the table.
Having to walk, which didn't really work out. Because when Gulliman got into combat, he absolutely smashed 2 of your dreadnoughts. Yeah, and he took quite a lot of fire.
He took my entire army of shooting at him.
Which is what you would expect from a Primarch.
Yeah.
So, if the Spawn a bit more aggressive and gone up and would have been in their lines, that one have worked out slightly differently. In Victoria's Suzerains, only getting 2 into combat was a bit of a problem. The Praetorian squad, while are very, very expensive,
just the fact that they fell back constantly
didn't help. We had a tactical squad that fell back, it just didn't help.
You were unlucky with like your morale and stuff like that.
Scorpius Whirlwind, which is normally brilliant, fired once, missed.
I think it fired twice.
No,
but
fired
missed.
once.
Was it?
No, fired once, missed, and then got stunned and then got destroyed.
Oh yeah.
So, and normally a very reliable tank did nothing. Spartan, very reliable, did nothing realistically because of the fact it was immobilised.
Yep.
So it was basically all over to Rebute, who did what he does best and goes into big things and destroys them. But it took 3 turns to get there because of the BS that happened beforehand. But I will say that Robin's list is really good. It is a very, very good tournament list.
It's not a tournament list. It's reasonably strong. It's
How many
got dreadnoughts in it.
How many dreadnoughts have you
I
got?
could get more in. Quite a lot more.
So how many dreadnoughts are in it?
There's, 5 dreadnoughts?
Okay. They're quite tough.
Yeah, this game's all about scoring though. I only got 3 scoring units. You got 5
5.
scoring units. So
And couldn't get anywhere near any objective.
yeah, again, that was down to sort of positioning. So I looked at sort of where the objectives were and positioned accordingly. Whereas you actually, I think the psychology of all my grav got to you. So you actually deployed a bit too deep, which then meant that I could just pop your transports, which meant that you were walking across. So I was sitting pretty on objectives, able to defend them quite easily, and you weren't holding anything. That was the problem.
So yes, and I think having the Victoria's Suzerain is not on the transport now.
Yeah,
Ages and ages ago, there was the Road to Calth video series that has ended. There was no more units I was going to add to my Ultramarines, and I've moved on to building my Word Bearers now, and there's the Road to Damnation series. But there is a big but coming. I am thinking about adding something else to, some things else to my Ultramarines, and one of them being the Land Raider.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about adding a Land Raider so that my Praetorians, my Invictara Suzerains do have a transport option when Terminators and Guilliman are in a Spartan, because you're never going to put Praetorians in there, realistically. So I'm thinking about getting a Land Raider.
Or you could just drop the Terminators and get a rookload of Suzerains as Guilliman's bodyguard. I'd get 10 more.
Have 15 Suzerains?
Yeah. How big can you take them in a squad?
I don't know, I'd have to have a look. I'm not entirely sure.
Probably 10. Maybe get 2 squads of 10.
So there's a lot of hate.
That'd annoy me.
Like I said, there's not a lot of love out there for Invictara Suzerains.
I hate them. That's why I shot them with Melter.
That'll do it.
Block this.
So yeah, I'm thinking about adding a Land Raider. So there may be a new video coming in the Road to Cal series, as well as the Road to Damnation series that's going on at the moment. But yeah, it was nice to get the Ultramarines back out. It's nice to get Rebute Guilliman back out. Your list.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it was missing a couple of bits today.
Yep.
2 big bits.
But to be fair, the bits that were missing, I would drop from this force anyway.
Okay. What, for more Dreadnoughts?
No. I think Seekers are really good because of the forward deploying and the sniping and stuff like that. So
True.
they're quite a nice little harass unit. The heavy support squad with all las cannons is super scary.
Yes.
Not quite as bad anymore, but it's still really good and pretty cheap. So potentially put those in. But also we've just had a new data sheet or whatever it's called, so I can make Morlocks now, and Morlocks look really good.
Yeah, because
Morlock
your Immortals
Terminators
are not terrible.
No, they're really tanky.
They're really good.
Yeah,
They're stupidly good.
They are really tanky, especially in that Rite of War, just for the heart of the Legion and all stuff like that.
And all your Dreadnoughts, because you're giving 1 extra, what is it to it?
It's -1 from shooting.
-1 from shooting.
From the
that's
strength
it.
of shooting. That's just the Iron Hand rule.
Days.
So yeah, you wanna get in close combat with Iron Hands as quickly as possible.
Correct, you do.
And what you did in that was basically walk slowly up the board, trying to shoot me and not doing any damage.
Because all my
I'm very
transports
good at shooting.
Yeah, all my transports were knocked out. So in theory, if the 5-man Terminators would have made it into combat with the Dreadnought, they'd have harassed with their chain fist. Maybe the Praetor in there. Guilliman definitely.
I think normal Terminators aren't great because the weapon skill 4.
Yeah.
If you've got any type of elite Terminators, do you still get those elite Terminators?
I can't remember what they're called. The Ultramarines. There's no miniatures for them.
Right, yeah.
The main ones
are
are
legacy.
Cyclone missile
They're like
launchers.
the Iron Warriors ones, aren't they?
They were the Iron Warriors Terminators, which Rebute Guilliman took and made them better. Because that's what Guilliman does.
Yeah.
He makes things better.
So I think, that you never know, you might get...
Maybe get them at some point in the future. I am thinking about some of the support squads for the Ultramarines.
Yeah,
but that means getting Mark 6. Their legs look funny. They do, don't they?
Well, they've got a big las cannon in front of them.
Well, yeah, okay, fine. You can cover their big stupid legs with a big stupid gun. But yes, thanks for watching, guys. What do you think to Robin's friendly?
I didn't say it was friendly.
Oh yeah, good point. You didn't say it was friendly.
Just not a tournament. I've taken it to a tournament and I won 2 games out of 5. It's not a tournament.
No, that's true actually. So yeah, what do you think to Robin's list of all the Dreadnoughts? Mine, what would you like to see me add to my Ultramarines? This is your turn and your chance to add something to my Ultramarines. Now, I'm thinking Land Raider and maybe some of the support squads. So let's have a look in the comments and see what you guys are recommending. Don't forget to follow that link in the top corner where you can get all your hobby needs and help support the channel at the same time. I said it at the start and I'll say it again. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And also click that bell icon so you never miss any of our content. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.